You worked too hard. You spent too much hours thinking about this. You spent too much energy, too much money behind this idea not to protect it. You know what I'm saying? That's also how I feel, right? Don't let these guys take your dream, man. Because then what are you left with? Mm-hmm. You can give someone this whole idea, like, and then they do it better than you, and then you're just there saying, I was the guy behind Napster. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter. It's done, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, because the consumer is not going to care.
Yeah, they care about the value.
They're rocking Toronto versus everybody, even though it's someone else's idea. They don't care.
Hello and welcome to the Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and tactics from entrepreneurs who have done it. Today, we have a great guest in the building. My guy, Courtney. What's poppin', bro? How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you guys for having me. I finally made it to the pod. I'm happy to be here, man. Happy to be here with you guys, especially, man.
Most definitely. So the way we're going to start this off and ask questions about you, get to know who you are, and then when they get into some legal questions, Courtney is a lawyer, if you don't already know, and he has his own business. So we're going to dive into what you need to know when it comes to preparing your business to have a successful business when it comes to its own legal entity, how you're operating as a legal business, and et cetera. So where are you from, bro?
I'm from Brampton, but originally I'm from Scarborough. I'm from Port Union and Shepherd, right off the 401 right there. I had a few visits to other places, like lived in the UK for a little bit and lived in Shelburne for a little bit, but I'm in Brampton. My office is in Brampton. I rep Brampton now, man. It sucks to see all the tweets about Brampton.
Yeah, man. It's always getting flamed for
no
reason.
It's getting hated.
You know why? You know why?
It's such a good city.
Because Brampton mans have finessed a lot of girls. You know what I'm saying? Brampton mans have done a lot. Brampton mans have been in the streets. And these girls don't forget, Look at King Brampton man, Tristan Thompson. Like,
I was about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, this man's a multi-millionaire, and he's been
in the league.
He's been in the league. He has a championship. They just hate, bro. Don't be mad. Brampton has done his thing in the NBA, and we're on the world platform right now. So don't hate Brampton, man. Shout out Brampton, the whole 905 Peel region.
All right. So now, when did you decide that, hey, I actually want to become a lawyer?
Okay, I'm gonna talk about. I've talked to Owen before. Owen's a serial entrepreneur from young. Yeah. I'm not like Owen, bro. I didn't start no businesses when I was young and stuff like that. And like I realized like a lot of great entrepreneurs, they're serial entrepreneurs like Owen. You know what I'm saying? But I was never like that. I don't know about you, Alex, if you started a business when you were mad young or...
I had a few little things. You
know
know what I'm saying?
He had a blog. He was like, your first ever venture was a blog.
Yeah.
I did a little blog at one point. But in high school, my flex was selling fake bus tickets, bro. That's what I was doing.
Fake
Summer
TTC.
School, printing them. My cousin showed me how to trap it out. I'm there printing them, cutting them up, gluing them, selling them, like... that was my like little hustle. But I had jobs and stuff like that. I wasn't really an entrepreneur. As a teenager, I was a paralegal first. I took paralegal education. Once I got into that,
so this is in high school, right? So you graduate high school,
and
you're thinking, what are your options? Are you thinking,
what can I do? Yeah, I went to Sheridan for like a little few months, but I was in the wrong program. I feel for me, I was in like the battered women and children program. I wanted to be in social work. But I didn't want to. That it was too emotionally. Seeing children and women that have been abused was like, I immediately knew I didn't want to do this no more. So like after a few months, I dropped out. I applied to Humber for a few things. I think like sports journalism is what I wanted to do, but they told me the program was full. But they offered me paralegal. I didn't know what a paralegal was at the time, but my boy told me it's a lawyer's assistant, so I took it. I liked it. I liked the thought of what I could do in the legal field. You know what I'm saying? And when I was young, I'm not gonna lie, I used to write up contracts between me and my parents all the time. Like, if you guys want me to do this, like when I was young, like I'm talking about 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
If you guys want me to do chores, I need to get paid this much, whatever. I was doing that. You know what I'm saying?
You were negotiating chores with your parents.
Yeah. It never worked, but I was trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I always, I'm not gonna lie, where in my neighborhood, I always felt like I was defending mans, like
You're the mediator.
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying. I always, looking back, I always feel like I had that skill, like I was a good speaker. I could represent people. I could speak for people. I could be a good agent for someone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I started off as a paralegal. I graduated. But before graduating, I did my field placement. You know how they always send you out on a field placement in your program, like to learn from a professional, like I get a mentorship, whatever. And I'm there, and it's me and 2 other students were there at this law firm that does accident benefits. If you've ever been in an accident before and you sue your insurance company, the insurance company tries not to pay or whatever. So we're there working, and I remember the last day, we're all wondering like, yo, is this guy gonna offer us contracts and stuff like that? And we're waiting. The two students that I'm with, they go in first, and he offers them contracts. And at this time, minimum wage was $12.25. Okay.
What year is this, by the way?
This would have been. I feel like it was like a 2010 or 09, around that 09 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum wage was $12.25 at the time. I remember, and so I go in. This guy calls me in the office, tells me I'm doing great, whatever. And he wants to offer me like, a job there. And I was just like, okay, how much are we gonna? What's the number? And then he was just like, $12 an hour. And I was just like, oh, but sir, like, minimum wage is $12.25. Like, yeah, but this is what I can afford right now, and whatever. The man's running a good firm. I can see
good establishment.
Yo,
you
bro,
see the dollars coming
I'm doing
in.
the work. I can see on a good day, on a really good day. Let's say we settle a case for like $250,000, $500,000. He's taking 30% of that, 33% of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we would I remember one time we settled a case for it was like a Tuesday. It was like whatever. It was like a normal day. We settled a case for like $200,000, whatever, a lot of money. This guy, we celebrated, but this guy just ordered like some subs from Subway, chopped up some subs from Subway, ordered a party platter. It was, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really I would think we would. I don't know what I thought, but I'm thinking yo, we just did $250,000, whatever.
Feed us something proper,
Yeah, this guy got the party platter from Subway, the assorted joint.
Wow.
And
you're expecting salmon.
I don't know what I was expecting.
Some proper catering. You know what I mean?
We see on TV lawyers is doing you know what I'm saying? The TV lawyers is I don't know. I just felt like the celebration would be a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Not Subway, because Subway you can just go and get a
get
foot-long sub, $5 foot-long.
For $5, bro.
$5.
But anyways, long story short, the man was trying to short me a quarter, and I just felt like, yo, bro, I didn't come to school. I didn't do all this to be going to school to be working less, be paid less than what I could be making at McDonald's. Because I used to work at McDonald's. I used to work at Burger King. You know what I'm saying? I know these spots. I don't want to work there, but I know what one thing about McDonald's, they're not gonna pay you under what the government tells you that they can pay you. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like, oh, come on, man. Nah, I can't do that, sir. But one thing he did tell me is Courtney, you should go to law school. You should be a lawyer. And that put the battery in my back. For me, where I was coming from, who my friends were, and the circle I was around, being a black lawyer didn't really. I may have not thought it was obtainable, or I just didn't think it was. It was just unheard. It was just that's a wild thought. You know what I'm saying?
Being a lawyer.
Yeah, being a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not that was a wild thought.
Did it seem like something extremely high to aspire to, especially knowing how you've come up and everything, and in the environment with your parents and your community?
Yeah. It felt real, bro. It felt real. It didn't feel like he was just saying that to get me out the office or whatever. And then so he told me that, and then kid you not, graduated, and then my boy, who's still my boy to this day, we it's how me and Owen connected. My boy E, shout out to E, it's too real. He was at York, so I just had finished. So if you want to be a lawyer in Canada, you have to get an undergrad, right? It's to compete with all the other students that are getting undergrads and then applying, right? So I knew I needed to get an undergrad. So my boy was at York, and he was just like, yo, come to the York, man. And I'm like, yo, the uni thing. Graduated. People were telling me, I had met some lawyers who went overseas and got their degrees, and I said, let me try a thing, man. And I applied to some schools in the UK, and I got accepted to Leicester U, and then I went. It was yo, a no brainer. I gotta go. If this opportunity is here, I gotta take it, because there was a point in my life I didn't even think this was feasible, and now a law school is telling me, yeah, come through. Man, I'm out of here. Around the same time, I had my son a little bit after, so I was like, I needed a like a steady income or whatever. Mind you, after I graduated from paralegal, I had went on one interview for a firm, and I thought it was a cool firm. It was downtown. I didn't get the job. They went with someone else, and after I didn't get the job, I just remember feeling like, man, I ain't applying to no more. I ain't applying to no more law firms. Like I'm gonna do it my own. So I just went on Facebook. I got my license. I wrote the exam for paralegal. I got licensed. I just put it up on Facebook one day. If anyone needs any help with their legal matters, whatever, contact me. And that was the start of my business. And I've had that business now 10 years. I've incorporated my business now. That was I just started a sole proprietorship at that time. So all you entrepreneurs who own sole proprietorships, yeah, I paid the $60, and I started a sole proprietorship, and I still have that business till today. I'm still providing legal services. I just went and basically invested in the business. When I look at myself getting my law degree, I just look at it as a business expense, because this is what the business had to invest in for the business to generate more revenue down the road. You know what I'm saying? It's like doing R&D, like investing in a new product to deliver to the community or deliver to your market or customers, whatever. That's what I look at it as. Investing in me was an investment in the business, to set up the business for the next maybe how many years, you know? My first paycheck from doing law was $75. After putting my stuff up on Facebook, someone reached out to me to represent them with like a speeding ticket or some sort. I got paid $75. I didn't even know what it was worth to do it. I just wanted to do it. I wasn't pressed about the money because I knew I was just starting off. Yeah. And I was just so happy that the fact that somebody was willing to
like to be able to hold that $75 and be like, bro,
that was what email transfer was first going on. I think I don't even think he email transferred it to me. I think he did give it to me in cash, whatever. Yeah, $75. Yeah. Yo, this thing is downtown, so I got gas, parking. By the time I think I even bought a suit for that first day. By the time I got there and everything like that, I was probably already in the hole because I got a suit, parking. But it's
lunch.
Suit alone.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was more, so it's probably like a bill. It was probably like a bill,
like a H&M suit. Like you can.
No, it was more. It was like Moors. I think it was Moors. I think I think it was like Moors.
That suit away.
Yeah, I don't have that suit no more. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like, yo, I just want to look presentable, whatever. It's my first time, whatever. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
$75, bro. And if you know anything about like speeding tickets, sometimes you might go and have to come back another day. So imagine I'm coming for $75. I'm coming back like 2-3 times, whatever, just to resolve this and everything like that. But it was cool because I felt like, yo, this is what I wanted to be able. This is what I wanted to do, and this is what I wanted to try out. So whatever, and I just stuck with it ever since then. You know, it's been challenging, to say the least, but it's been interesting as well. And it's like, yo, it's on my own accord at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Word. So, yeah.
So like you go to Leicester, you study criminal law.
No, I went to Leicester. When you go to law school, you just study law, and then there's subjects within the law that you have to it's mandatory that you learn, right? But I before I even went to Leicester, I was doing a little bit of criminal law anyways, just as a paralegal, just doing like little summary offenses and representing people that were close to me, because that's kind of what was in the back of my mind when I first decided I wanted to be a lawyer as well. Like I wanted to free the mandem. That's what I thought. And then you get into criminal law and you see, yo, the police do a good job. Like, yo, the police do a good job. Yeah. Like they 90. I would say it's higher than 90. Yo, if the police, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Despite what you guys see on the TV and on the internet,
what they tell us and everything, like the cops are bad people.
Yo, they don't just be accusing
Blue Lives Matter.
They don't just be accusing mans out the blue. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they don't get it wrong. They do definitely get it wrong. They're human. But a lot of times, and what people don't realize, snitching is I have a joke with my boy E. I always tell him, snitching is good for business. You know what I'm saying? As a lawyer, snitching is good for business. Yeah. A man gets snitched on, he's calling you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Snitching is good for business. Hey, if you want,
So, are we good moving into law, you think?
Let's get into it. Let's get into Fraser Legal and Associates and what you currently do now.
Yeah. So my business, my practice is called Fraser and Associates Legal Group. I've had that the same name since I started my sole proprietorship. I just took the name, and many of you that have sole proprietorships or many of you that have corporations know that you are familiar with this. Or you could, when you shut down your sole proprietorship to incorporate, you could transfer over the name. You can give consent to the corporation to use this name, but you can no longer carry on business as that sole proprietorship under that name. So that's what I did. So my business is called Fraser Associates Legal Group, but that's just so long for Instagram and stuff like that. So I just shortened it, Fraser Legal Group.
Yeah, I noticed that because it used to be Associates, and then I was like, oh,
yeah. No,
it's
on the checks, it still says Fraser Associates. It's my credit card still says Fraser Associates, but I just shortened it up for Instagram, right. Fraser Legal Group, you know. And I didn't want to have like a screen name that says Fraser and Ass. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was I thought about that too. Like, yo, they got a short form Associates. Yeah. But it's like Fraser and Ass. Like, I didn't want that. Yeah. So I just went with Fraser Legal Group. Yeah. You know?
We have the same kind of situation with our Instagram handle because we want to shorten it to HOE.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, you can't be hoes.
That's foul, man.
You can't be hoes. No. Keep what you guys have.
24/7.
You can't be hoes. Even if people are gonna come and see something else, it's just like you can't be hoe. Because there are people that won't click on it.
Exactly.
Because they see hoe, or maybe they will, but they're looking for.
Like, it brings people through, but then like, oh, okay, hustle over everything. What is
hoe even available?
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, it's not.
Probably. Why would someone name their business?
Nah.
If you wanted to.
Come on. Yo, there's no way hoes. I'm gonna relook, but I guarantee it's gonna be someone trolling. Something an account like that.
Trolling. Yeah, for sure. But what I want to get into actually, because you had an interesting predicament.
I don't think there's a hole.
That's hilarious.
If you DM HOE, then you can like tap on the handle.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. But what happened to you during the beginning of the Panini
pandemic?
Yeah, man.
That's what you called it?
We call it Panini, Panorama.
All that, because you just get tired of calling it
pandemic.
The pandemic.
You gotta be light about it.
You call it the Omarion, the Ami channel. This is other ways of saying it, because we get tired of hearing it 24/7.
I see Migos calling it the bandemic. Certain rappers, but so like I was telling you guys pre-show, like, so I was articling for a good criminal lawyer upon coming back from law school, a great criminal lawyer. He took me after, like, I think I've been back for a few weeks. He took me, and
this is back from Leicester, from the UK.
Yeah, and when you get for all the international students, as you know, and when you get degrees from overseas, a lot of times, like, the regulating body in your profession puts you through extra exams or extra tests to certify that you know the Canadian equivalent, right? Mm-hmm. So even though I was a Canadian and everything like that, because I was coming back with a British degree, I had to go write additional exams to show that I know the Canadian equivalent to these laws, right? So I had to write what's called the NCAs. I had to do like 7 self-study exams, whatever, 5 or 7, and then I think it was 5, yeah. And then after that, then I was eligible to article and do the bar. Mm-hmm. But I was with this criminal lawyer for almost 2 years, and when I was thinking about leaving, so I thought about leaving, whatever. Asked for a raise, didn't get the raise. Decided, again, just like back to when I was coming out of college. Yeah. All right, can't get the raise. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this on my own, because I already had a little clientele.
From the associates days.
Exactly. Because when I was at law school, I still had my clients, Mm-hmm. I'm either hiring agents over here to go to court and talk for me. I like give them instructions, or I'm getting students from colleges that, like, people know that I do this now. I'm getting students who maybe they go to Humber, go to Centennial, or go wherever they go, that are doing their field placement, and me and them are communicating virtually, and they're carrying out the stuff that I'm telling them to do, and I'm emailing my clients, whatever. And when I fly back to Toronto, I'm actually going to court for them and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So I still had I never shut down my my practice and stuff like that. I never stopped putting in work, So I, like, it was March 14th or March 13th, 2020. Me and my boss, he tells me. Same thing, like we're texting, or I used to go to my boss's house all the time. Every Friday I'd get my boss's house. He has a big house in Brampton, and he's a lawyer. His wife is a lawyer, but she she doesn't practice lawyer as a lawyer no more. She works for like a big college in the city, you know. So I basically quit at my job, and then thinking that when Monday rolls around, it's all me for every day. Like I'm only worrying about my business, not another lawyer's business. I'm just my business strictly. Never done this before. Never, like, think about, okay, like you leave your job to do your own thing now. This is day one that I decided this.
So on Friday,
quit.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So Friday you're at your boss's house.
Yeah.
What's going on in your mind to say, starting Monday, I'm done with this? Like, what was the trigger like when you're there at the crib that made you say, I'm done, dog? I'm like, this is it.
He just didn't want to pay more, and I was just like, bro, let's say, okay, if you're art, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm here on the hustle over everything.
Yeah, keep it a buck, bro.
I'm
Don't hold back, bro.
Like,
I'm
gonna be real with you.
Just
this man. I'm gonna be real with you, which is not bad. I'm not complaining, but I was making like $2,000 a month from articling. Some people article and they don't get nothing. Some people article and they get maybe like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 for the year. I don't know. Downtown, if you're working downtown, you may get more. I don't know.
How do you get money on articling? Sorry to cut you off.
Your lawyer pays you.
Okay. So then how do people get nothing if they're articling?
Some people, you're articling on a volunteer basis, maybe.
Really?
How do they make bread?
You don't make no bread.
So who's supporting them?
I don't know. I've literally been at court and seen guys, like, every lawyer that comes into the courthouse, yo, please take my resume, please take my resume, please take my resume. Like,
To you.
To me, to other, like, I've been there with my mentor and seen other guys, like, you know, just trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to get on.
See, this is the thing about this law game, bro.
You don't know that. People don't know that.
And my boys are lawyers too. So when I hear like all these process, so my boys, for example, both of them went to York, went to university like Southampton and everything.
Went to UK.
Yeah, both of them went to the UK. Come back,
yeah.
They start articling, and you know
the articling is a grind.
The articling is a grind, bro, because it's competitive.
Am I allowed to? We don't swear here, do we?
Moderately.
Yeah, moderately.
Okay, I would say this: articling is an itch. Just say that, like, you know.
Yeah. What is articling, by the way? Like, what entails articling?
Articling is like you're being supervised by a lawyer. You're doing all the tasks he tells you to. You know, it's just getting you ready to be a lawyer.
But at that point, are you considered a lawyer?
You could go to court. You could go to court for him, and you could do you're basically his representation. You know, he's your principal. Yeah, that's what we call it.
Yeah,
he could tell you to do anything. So I've heard a lot of stories like of lawyers treating their articling student like, you know, sending them on interns. Some errands. Yeah, sending them
to
do
coffee. Get me Timmy's, man.
That's the least. Coffee. Pick up this dry cleaning, baby, or something like that. Yo, like, no, for real. Like,
are you serious? Like, dry cleaning, like his
all
suits.
Kinds of stuff. You're this man's itch. He has you. He knows you want to get into the game. He has you. This is your way in,
bro. What? But do you have to article? That's the thing.
I think there's an alternative to articling. Like,
because I'm thinking if you're a guy of pride, bro, and you're like, man, I'm not doing all this stuff for you. I'm like 31, 32. I just like became a lawyer and everything. I'm not trying to become like your itch and do all these things for you. Like, what do guys in that situation do?
But not everybody's 31. Like, some guys are younger coming in because some, like, let's say I was a little bit older when I got to law school. I was in my like mid to late 20s. But let's say like because let's say you're coming out of law school at 23, maybe 24. You know, you're still under 25. You're very impressionable. You think about working on Bay Street. You may wait all day at a firm, like in the lobby, waiting for the partners to leave, just so you can get their attention. Just so you can because you're thinking like, yo, if I get on for these guys, ooh, I'm good forever.
A lot of our listeners, they are early stage entrepreneurs and people who are building businesses. They're like, you know, close to 2 years into their business.
Yeah.
But incorporating is something that we all want to learn more about. Okay. There's so many ways of doing it. There's so many forums. You'd find different places that charge you how to do it. So first question is like, let's break down the pros and cons of incorporating provincially and federally. Let's start from there.
There's no difference. The only difference is if you do it federally, then your name is good. Like you've got a trademark on your name throughout the whole country. You can go and do business in another province. You would just have to register over there, but you can just file an extra provincial registration.
Got you.
I believe I don't normally. I know a lot of people in Ontario register provincial corporations, but I just go ahead and do it the federal way, like, cover them throughout the whole country. And it's a lot easier. Like the provincial government is trying to catch up to the federal government's system, online system of incorporating and making changes and stuff like that. To incorporate provincially, it's more of a task, to be honest with you. And I think it costs just a slightly more money. I think it's like $50 more. I don't do provincial ones. I work with provincial corporations. I could definitely, if you have a provincial corporation, you come to me, I could definitely help you with it. But if somebody tells me they want a new business, I prefer to just do it federally for them. Let them know like the responsibilities would be in terms of compliance and stuff like that. But no difference. Just the fee is a minor fee difference. But I just think, hey man, you got to be thinking nationally. If anything, lock your name up throughout the whole country so no one can copy it. I've seen clients of mine like have Ontario businesses that are doing well, and then what people in Toronto don't realize is Toronto is the hub of this country. So if something's booming in Toronto, there's a man in Edmonton that's gonna copy it, or Calgary, or Halifax, or Vancouver, and just change. Maybe take off the TO, take off the Toronto or the T dot, and then put their city on it. Like, straight up, there's so much copycats when it comes to entrepreneurialism because everyone's trying to come up, right? So they see you with a good idea, they're gonna mimic it, and then now they have people thinking like this is an extension of the Toronto business. That's the sneaky thing, like, people definitely do that in other provinces, like.
It's kind of like, you've seen that when Toronto versus Everybody started. I think the brand now is called Peace Collective. But actually, that idea originated from Detroit.
Yes.
Detroit versus Everybody.
Yes.
So they just took that and they ran with it.
And you might think now this is an extension of the original guys. No, but it's not.
It's not. But the thing is, true people know it's Detroit because Big Sean was saying that Detroit versus Everybody, right? Now, local folk, just regular people who don't really are not in culture like that. It's like, oh my God, Toronto versus Everybody, the Blue Jays, whatever. And they're making money. They don't really know. They're like, all right, hush, hush. You buy your shirt, Toronto versus Everybody, rep that. You don't need to know the background behind that. And that's how people profit off your products and your ideas, man.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
How do you protect that stuff? Like, for example, you've already incorporated the name and everything. So now they can't use it. But protecting your ideas, protecting your name and etc. Walk us through that whole process so you're bulletproof. And like new entrepreneurs as well, man, a lot of these things cost money and some of us don't have that money. So what are some ways that you can protect yourself if you can't really afford to pay it straight out?
I'm not gonna lie, people think a lot of things is expensive, and I don't be feeling it's expensive. Like, so for your first question, how to protect your ideas, your products, your services, your brand, your identity, the unique secrets of your business is through intellectual property law, which is trademarks, copyrights, patents, and it's not expensive. I mean, you can get a trademark or copyright for like less than $2,000 maybe. You can get a lawyer to do an application for you for less than $2,000. Like, I don't do that. I don't do that type of work. But I've talked to other people that are certified to do it. They'll do it for maybe less than $2,000. You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand that's an investment. Just like I told you about, I invested in investing in my education was an investment for my business. I knew I wanted to run a law firm. I knew I wanted to run this business regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I had to invest in this education. You protecting the other day someone asked me, what does it mean to secure the bag? And I told them, to me, securing the bag means not only generating different revenues, but protecting these revenues, protecting these assets, protecting this intellectual property. The whole blockchain theory is about just protecting, making sure that this is secure. People were dropping NFTs. No one can sell your NFT without you getting paid. It's smart blockchain. It's smart blockchain technology and software that does that. That's what I call securing the bag. When you make sure your ducks are in order so that no one could take this from you. Because if you have it, best believe somebody wants to take it from you. You took it from somebody. You took this opportunity from someone. Maybe you didn't know,
but you spotted an opportunity and you acted on it. So yes. Like if someone sees you acting on it, they're like, like I see you eating. How can I eat as well too?
Yes. And a lot of entrepreneurs, when when people start businesses, sometimes they look at often look at, oh, who's my client? Who can I get to pay me? You know, or who could I make money, not make money off of, but who can I make money from? And they look at the people that have, right? Like that's why people go into banking, because the bankers have the money, or the banks have the money. So I'm gonna go in banking and learn the ins and outs of it and whatever, you know. Or people go into real estate because like I want to sell homes for the people that have the money, or people become lawyers because they want to work for certain people that have the money, or want to work for people who you know, are doing certain things. Like everybody, investors, lenders, borrowers, like people, you just have to protect, be smart with your assets, be smart with your incomes. Make sure no one can take this from you, because you went through so much just to build it. You know what I'm saying? You went through so much just to build it. You don't want someone to just, you don't want to make it easy for these guys to come take it from you, right? Legally, you could use the law as a shield to protect your assets, protect what you got going on. You worked too hard. You spent too much hours thinking about this. You spent too much energy, too much money behind this idea not to protect it. You know what I'm saying? That's also how I feel, right? Don't let these guys take your dream, man. Because then what are you left with? You can give someone this whole idea, like, and then they do it better than you, and then you're just there saying, I was the guy behind Napster. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't matter. It's done, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, because the consumer is not going to care.
Yeah, they care about the value.
They're rocking Toronto versus everybody, even though it's someone else's idea. They don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit hurts,
So,
man.
so what could Detroit versus everybody do when they see, because that happened nationwide. It was Toronto, Vancouver, et cetera.
Yeah.
First, everybody thing just caught on, man.
Exactly.
And
So
it's
what
never
could they
dying.
have done once that started blossoming?
They probably could have got a trademark for the slogan versus everybody. Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Or maybe trademark every city versus
trademark,
everybody. But that's another cost.
That was another cost. But if they're making money like that, it's a cost of doing business. And those are business expenses, bro. Like, people have to understand, a business expense is not the same as a little shopping spree or personal expense. Yeah, things is costly. Okay, you spend $2,000 on your trademark, but that's coming off your taxes. That's a credit to your taxes at the end of the day. Yo, the young people have to understand, like, when you start making money, taxes is your enemy. You know what I'm saying? You guys maybe not hit it yet because, like, the viewers may not hit it yet because they're not making enough to do taxes, but not making enough to always do your taxes. All right, I have to say that legally, do your taxes, whatever. But they may not make enough yet where Uncle Sam is not kicking down their door. But think about this: your vision for your business in 5 years is to be making $1 million or making $5 million. You know, that comes with taxes. How are you gonna protect your business? What's the best way to structure your business to protect from having to pay somebody 30%, 40%, even 50%? Once you make over like $200,000 personally in Canada, you're paying about like 50% taxes. Yeah. So say you make $210,000, you're gonna give away 110. I mean, you're gonna give away 105,000. That sounds nuts. Giving somebody half
your dough.
And my wife is not even leaving me. I'm giving away half. Think about that, yo. It's a big difference going from, because if you make 200,000, yo, you're Chris. Yeah. You're nice. 200,000 a year is blessed. Now tax out that, and now you're making 100,000, which is okay. But say but
you're netting 100K.
Yeah, and that's not even your expenses.
Yeah,
you know, he's gonna taking that tax before.
More money, more expenses and everything too. So you're kind of like living averagely.
Yeah,
because you're living lavish now.
I'm not a tax lawyer or a tax expert or anything by any means, but I feel like maybe in the next like 10 years, I feel like I'm gonna learn more about it because I know where my business is going and the clients that I have. I know, like, I keep up with my clients. I follow all of them on Instagram. I try and I regularly talk to them, see what new things they're working on. Because by knowing what your clients are working on prepares me what I should be learning. You know, I didn't do it this year just because I caught COVID around the holiday season. But last holiday season, like I had like a Zoom and I sent out an invite to all my clients just so they can mingle if they wanted to on the Zoom, but also to find out what would they be working on in the next year. So that way I can prepare myself. I always want to hear my client's vision. Anyone that comes to me, I want to hear their vision for their business so I know how I can help them. You know, I haven't lost that attitude where I'll invest in my education. If my client says they're in this industry and I know nothing about it, I might buy a book about the legalities of that industry, just so I can properly consult this person, because I want to keep this person as a client forever. If they're gonna be the next Google in that industry, hell yeah, I want to be the one to help you along and do those things. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think. You know, you got to research who's your customer. You got to research who's your client. So I always research in any area that I see my clients working in. I have a lot of new clients that are trying to get into crypto now, and I'm trying to learn about it and the blockchain and stuff like that. So that's what it is, man. You always have to be trying to reinvent yourself as a business. But back to just protecting your assets, trademark your stuff, man.
Verse everybody. So for example, the verse everybody, do you think it would have been wise to, let's say, take every major city name in the world,
Definitely.
like London, Vancouver?
Definitely.
But that's a major cost. But I'm thinking maybe future cash flows of starting different, stops of like that brand and selling it in those cities would definitely offset the cost of paying up front of trademarking the verse everybody from the get-go.
And then what about this though? They could have got some license deals.
But the thing is, you
'Cause
don't
if you
even know if
copyright
the
that-
brand is going to be hot like that.
I mean, if it's something that's so generic versus everybody, it's a prideful thing. And if it's going well in your neighborhood or in your city, let's say you do copyright it in another major city, right? In another state or in another province and stuff like that. Let's say you do that. Now no one else from there can do that, or if they want to do it, they have to pay you to license that your branding and your identity. They have to license your trademark from you. So you may not sell one shirt in Toronto, but because you have that copyright over there or the trademark over there, now you're getting 5% of every shirt that's sold with that on it. You may license the slogan out to the Blue Jays, let them put their logo on it, but still have over everything just Blue Jays logo over everything. How much shirts is how much thousands of shirts are Blue Jays gonna sell of these shirts? You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to spend no money setting up in Toronto or running a storefront or even creating a website domain. You didn't have to do anything. You just license this idea out. And that's what people have to understand. Like, if you have great ideas, go ahead, take a shot on it and trademark it or copyright it, because then you can just license out the trademark, man. That's what franchising is about. Like, when you franchise a restaurant, you're literally just licensing out the right to use my trademark, my restaurant's trademark. So, like, let's say I wanna open up a Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a hot restaurant. Canadians love Chick-fil-A because it's American.
Just because it's American.
It's American. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Even if you bring it in and out, people
Chick-fil-A ain't all that, man.
Chick-fil-A I tried that joint, man.
Chick-fil-A ain't all that. Whatever. But let's say I want to open up a Chick-fil-A. I might pay the head corporation, Chick-fil-A, the head business, 30, 40, 50 grand as a franchise deposit just to get in the game. And then I might have to pay them 5, 10, 15% monthly just to off royalties, off of what I make. But I'm making a lot just based on the name, just based on the fact that I sell Chick-fil-A sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be hot forever because people just love the hype.
It's like McDonald's, man. It's never going down.
That was a different monster. McDonald's is a different monster. McDonald's got the real estate game on lock. You ever watch The Founder?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So tell me how you feel about the guy that I can't remember his name. Something Kraft, isn't it?
Ray Kroc.
Ray Kroc. Sorry.
Ray Kroc, yeah.
Tell me how you guys feel about that man running with those guys' dreams. But yo, remember, take in mind, they didn't see the vision for their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't run with their dreams. He ran with his own dream with their company.
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing was that he should have renamed McDonald's.
Why?
Because
this is what's hot. Their name is hot. If I rename it now, if I rename it now, I don't have that hotness. You know what I'm saying? Because their name is known. It's a respectable brand. You know what I'm saying?
What it wasn't that hot at that time.
What would you have taken?
There was an inflection point where he realized what the product was and where he could have taken it. That where it wasn't that hot, where everybody in the country knew about it.
Like the system, their little fast food system, how they do things fast and efficient.
Exactly. He could have taken that and rebranded it with Crocs or something like that, and then tried to build McDonald's with that. I feel like that was like the ethical thing to do that he didn't do, and that he had to like lower up because of that. other than that, I feel like he was all the way good in terms of like not all the way good, of course, but yeah, I think that was a main problem because he had a whole different vision than what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
He understood where it could go. He had a different plan with the real estate. Well, that was even a little bit further, but still, you should have rebranded.
Think so?
Yeah, 1,000%. Because he literally was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
He got a franchise, didn't he? They gave him a franchise.
They gave him a franchise, and then
they allowed him to. I'm trying to think back to the movie. Like, how was he allowed to keep selling franchises?
That was part of the deal that you could keep making franchises, and then they're
you know the thing is, bro. So when he met Harry Sonnenbaum in the bank, right? Mm-hmm. He saw like, okay, if I'm expanding McDonald's, and mind you, I don't know like what land value was at the time. Mm-hmm. So I think he kept getting loans to buy the land of the McDonald's. Yes. And then when he got
he was able to kick them out if they want or something.
Exactly. He says, yo, I own this land. Yeah. Right. So I think with land appreciation, I'm trying to get
I gotta watch that one again.
Yeah, I gotta watch exactly.
I gotta watch it because now I'm a little bit older and I know how franchises work. I gotta watch that one again. How was he able to finesse this?
I think he was getting the loans and then he's buying the land and then he owns the land. So like now, like the McDonald's Corporation is the largest.
It's a tenant.
It's a tenant.
McDonald's was a tenant of his real estate company.
Exactly.
I think he threatened like I can get rid of all you guys. I can kick you guys all off my property.
So that's why,
and you guys will be scrambling looking for.
So that's why exactly McDonald's is a real estate business, bro. I remember I took a marketing class in George Brown, no, I was actually doing window cleaning way back in the day, and the guy, his name was Stefan. He's just like, yo, Owen, do you know like what McDonald's, you know what the business McDonald's is in? I'm like, yeah, of course, they're in the burger business. And it's like, no, you're looking at it different. He's just like, no, McDonald's is in the real estate business. Mm-hmm. McDonald's is actually like the world's largest real estate owner. They own the most land out of every business. They own the most land in the world. So every McDonald's that is located in a different corner, they own that piece of property right there. So whoever comes on top of that, they're like, yo, you're paying us for this land. And now land appreciates in value. So every McDonald's is like strategic in where they put their McDonald's at.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's take a quick break and come back to the pod.